Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. We know that helping your clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves isn't just about what they eat or coming to the gym a few hours a week. We, as gym owners and coaches, have to focus on a holistic approach, looking at support systems, stress management, sleep, mindset, lifestyle, and of course, exercise and nutrition. I'm your host, Nicole Coyne, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching, CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to make one step at a time to becoming the best nutrition coach and building an awesome habit-based coaching program. I'm so excited to have my husband, Jason, on today's podcast. We had the opportunity to travel to a couple business conferences for gym owners over the past few weeks, and we wanted to bring back some of the trends that we've seen with these conferences in regards to health, nutrition, and building a more successful gym. My husband runs Healthy Steps Nutrition and CrossFit HSN. He is one of our lead coaches, handles all of the free intro process, the leads, everything that we teach gym owners to implement in regards to building a habit-based and professional habit-based coaching program is exactly what we do at our HQ location. So Jason can talk from experience of how we implement all of these things that we talk about in our current gym and with our nutrition coaching program. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to take a brief second to talk about the Nutrition Business Workshop. The Healthy Steps Nutrition Workshop is going to be an amazing time in Nashville, Tennessee, September 16th and 17th. In this event, gym owners are going to gather with some nutrition coaches, managers, and we're going to talk about building your business as a holistic approach to help your clients reach their best selves. We have some different experts coming in, and it's going to be an amazing event to not only learn, but also think of practical things that you can implement today for your business. Sometimes when we go to these different events, it's like a fire hose of information, and the goal of this event is the exact opposite. We want you to leave with an actionable plan of what's most important to you to implement right now, and then what can you implement next month, and the next month, and the next month. It is going to be so fun. One of the things that we are going to be doing is something called 6-minute strategies. So we have Dr. Danny Urcullo, Zach Forrest, who is on seminar staff, and Dr. Christina Migliara. She is a mental health therapist as well as a gym owner. They're going to be doing some of the 6-minute strategies. So bringing forward their best ideas for gym owners and leaving them with actionable steps to implement into their gym to prioritize health and wellness. And we all opened up gyms because we want clients to become the best and healthiest versions of themselves. But the problem is most of us are missing the most important piece of the puzzle, nutrition. Gym owners are realizing, and one of the trends that we've seen is people are talking about this holistic approach. They're talking about diversifying revenue streams and really adding a habit-based coaching program. If you are thinking, man, I have a nutrition coaching program, but I want to level it up. Maybe I have been a part of the mentoring program for a long time, HSN Mentoring. I want to connect with these people in person and leave inspired. This event is for you. We are only selling 200 tickets. We already are 50% sold out. We would love for you to grab your ticket today. All you need to do is click the link in the show notes, grab your ticket. It is mostly gym owners. There are some nutrition coaches that are going to be there this weekend, but it is going to be an amazing event. Again, in Nashville, Tennessee, September 16th and 17th, there are only 200 tickets. So if you want to come, you better lock in your spot today. Enjoy this episode with Jason. Jay, welcome to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast.
Well, I'm becoming a regular here, I think.
I don't know if we go that far, but this is the second episode in a while.
This is, and I'm excited to talk about what we've been doing the last couple of weeks.
You've actually been able to hit the road with me the past few weeks. We've been able to attend 2 fitness conferences. Some of my favorite things are just getting in front of different gym owners, talking, connecting with our clients, and chatting about what's working well so that we can leave inspired to take action as well and inspire other people.
Yeah, for sure. I think the last 2 years, man, everyone's ready to get out and get in front of each other and get back to in-person, one-on-one. I mean, it's such a great way to network and to see what other people in the business are doing. And we had a great couple of weeks.
Yeah. So, I think so many times, especially as a business owner, as a gym owner, you might connect with people via Zoom. You see people on these little squares, but then when you can actually give someone a hug, see them in person, it's just so much more valuable. And you can end up like fast tracking what you're going to do, make progress because you have time to specifically focus on one thing to level up your business. We always say, you're always working in your business. When are you working on your business? And when you leave and go to one of these conferences, you are working on your business, getting some ideas so you can fast track your growth and level up your business. I want to talk about a couple trends. So the first one, one of the things that we heard over and over again from both conferences is like, hey, you really need to be investing in your culture. The culture the word community kept being brought up in New York. And then we were with Tim Lyons and Randy over with FitPro. They're amazing guys. They put on a great event in Nashville, and they had a speaker talking all about culture and community and what are you doing to intentionally build that community in your gym.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, like the Crusader guy, he did the warrior training. He was, he put on an hour and a half like show. I mean, and for the hour and a half, that 90 minutes, I was on the edge of my seat. I was fired up. I was pumped up. And he brought up some really, really good points about culture. And I think everybody knows culture's king. I mean, you can go into a CrossFit box, you can go into any fitness community, and you can see right off the bat, the first 5 to 10 minutes you're in a class, what that culture is, right? And is it starting from the top coming down, or is it starting at the bottom and trying to work its way up? And so it was really cool to listen to some of these speakers and get some really good ideas and to come back with some nuggets. Nuggets are always good, right?
Yeah. I think one of the things when they were talking about culture, he did a really good job. And then Sadie over at the other conference did a really great job talking about culture and what does she do to really build the things that she's doing, principles that she runs her business off of. And one of the things that they talked about is, hey, our product is people. As a gym owner, you really should be investing in your staff, making sure that the culture within your staff is a help first. Hey, is the morning coach passing off notes to the PM coach? Is the PM coach leaving a note for the morning person, the next person going in, just to keep everyone kind of engaged? When in mentoring, right, our mentors work with gym owners every single month. And one of the things that we do is we leave little notes for each other in an internal tracker. Hey, this is what this person needs help with. This is where you're picking up. Here's where I left off. And it ends up providing such a valuable experience for our clients.
Yeah, I think it's super important to paint that picture, if you will, right? You're painting that picture for that next person to come on and say, hey, this is where we're at, and this is where we're going to go, and this is how I can help you. And I mean, Sadie started, I believe, was it Pure Bar or like a bar class, right? Mm-hmm. And she grew exponentially, and she had no idea she knew how to run her gym, and then she opened a couple franchises, and the next thing you know, it's hundreds of franchises. And so I thought her message was really important too, the culture and the pass offs, but then diving a little bit into, hey, I'm really good at this and I'm not so good at this. And I think that's where a lot of gym owners struggle. And I know you and I have had this conversation where it's like, I'm not a social media guy. Like that is not my jam. That doesn't fill my cup. There's just a lot of things that I'm not even on Facebook, right? But there's other things that fill my cup and I'm really good at it. And I think a lot of times we try to be too good at too many things. And what ends up happening, and I'm not allowed to curse on this show, right? Stu Brower, you'd be proud of me right now. I'm holding back, brother. I think that what ends up happening is you try to focus on so many things and being good at all of them that the one thing you're supposed to be good at, you kind of suck at now. And now that goes back to the members, right? And you can't provide the same level of service that got you there.
I think there's a difference between diversifying revenue stream, adding different services, but then really making sure that your core service is still really the core focal point and making sure that you're doing that core thing really, really well. It's funny. One of the guys at the FitPro Summit was talking about, I think his name was Rick Mayo, and he was like hounding, like, we don't provide nutrition. And I'm like sitting back there. I'm like, man, what does this guy have against nutrition? He owns a franchise of personal training studios. And basically what he was saying is, you try to go do all these different things and then you forget like, hey, I have to be really good at personal training. Our business is personal training. And afterwards I was like, man, what do you have against nutrition? Like, why are you so anti-nutrition? And he just started laughing because he knew I had just spoke on nutrition.
And he booked a call with you about nutrition.
I was like, what do you have going on against nutrition? He's like, no, I had a dietitian and she left or whatever happened. And I don't have a nutrition coaching program. I'm like, well, maybe you just don't have the systems
exactly
to deliver an awesome nutrition coaching program. You clearly have the personal training down. Can we all agree that nutrition and accountability will help your personal training clients get better results? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, let's just work on the systems now that you've dialed in that core service. So I think when we look at what was the theme here, culture is definitely a big piece of the puzzle, and communication, making sure that you're being intentional with the community. But then we talked a lot about diversifying revenue streams. And in New York, they had some interesting stats, and I want to bring those in.
Hit me with some stats, girl.
So one of the stats they did a research study, and 67.
Okay. 6.7 out of 10.
Okay. Yep. 67% of people that go to a gym want personalized nutrition.
Okay. So let's say 7 out of 10, basically.
Holy cow. Think about that. Like 7, which makes sense. They want to see results. You need nutrition to see results. But the more interesting stat is only 13% of those people are actually getting the support they need from the gym.
That's about one person.
So if you think about that, man, you've got a lot of people that need nutrition help that want it, but you're not doing a good enough job selling nutrition or helping people understand. That's how you help people in your community with nutrition, fitness, and accountability. We actually ended up running into a few of our gyms that have partnered with Healthy Steps Nutrition. One of them is a pretty large gym. They have like 400 members. They didn't have that big of a percentage with their nutrition coaching program. And luckily I ended up getting to talk to them today as well. And they're like, hey, there's an opportunity here. What are we missing? Let's go back to the fundamentals. And we created this roadmap to help them start building up traction within their community. But also any new people getting started should start with nutrition, fitness, and accountability. And it's funny, we've been talking about the sales binder that we redid over a year ago forever.
And it's still very like
some people haven't jumped on the wagon yet. And I was like, hey guys, have you seen the sales binder? Like, come over here.
New sales binder from last year.
Come check it out over here. And he's like, oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as a gym owner, we just get wrapped up into the day to day and we don't have time to venture out to see like, hey, what are the other things that people are doing really well? And that's one of the valuable things of having a mentor, because then you can fast track your progress because you are getting the expert advice and you're being held accountable to what is going on.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I mean, you're the gym owner, right? And maybe nutrition's not in your wheelhouse. That's not your jam. Maybe that doesn't fill your cup. And I felt like that was the common thing that I heard. And what's interesting about that is it's a twofold. One is when that doesn't fill your cup and that's not your jam, great. But if you don't have a system in place or don't offer nutrition coaching, guess what? Our phones are ringing off the hook because they're calling HQ going, hey, I belong to a CrossFit. Hey, I belong to this gym, but they don't offer nutrition coaching. So where do they go? Elsewhere. And then the second part of that is that when the gym owner that's not their jam or wheelhouse and they don't offer it, what ends up happening is they give them this piece of paper. Like this is something we heard multiple times over the weekend. Well, I kind of give them this piece of paper and I'm like, yeah, just follow this. And we all know, human beings, we're not good at just following a piece of paper, right? I always bring it back to the shrink thing, right? Like, oh, just read this book and you'll be mentally healthy for the rest of your life. Like it doesn't work like that, right? We need that ongoing support, that nutrition coaching. We need experts, we need help, and we need people to provide that for us.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes it's, as a gym owner or a new nutrition coach, it's really overwhelming to figure out, how do I start? Where do I go? What services, what packages, what pieces of paper do I provide? How do I provide my clients accountability and support between those in-person visits? And that's really where they partner with us and we give them all those tools and resources and those systems. And if you're thinking right now, hey, I am in that boat,
spreadsheets and I have Facebook Messenger, right?
That, or the other thing with, hey, I had a program, I had a dietitian, I had this nutrition coach, they left and my program left with that coach.
Yep.
That is the biggest thing. The next thing, I run challenges. My program stops after a challenge. I have informal conversations. Those are the three things that people say
When's
to
the
us.
next challenge?
Exactly. It's like, hey, let's actually help you beyond this challenge. Let's provide one-on-one individualized support. And when it comes down to these in-person events, it is so amazing to connect with other people who are doing it really, really well.
Yes.
You know, the nutrition coaching conversation, people were really talking about this holistic approach. It's not meal plans, it's not macros. It's really providing clients the individualized support that they need and having the systems to keep them accountable. You know, so many people said, I feel like I'm doing it, but it's really hard. It shouldn't be this hard. And you're right. Because if you don't have the systems, it is going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, for sure. I came back fired up on many different levels. And it was also a great business trip for us because there's a lot of opportunity for us to help a lot of gyms out there. So yeah, if you're a gym out there, you're struggling with nutrition, maybe you are using the spreadsheets, you got people contacting you through Instagram, through Facebook, they're text messaging you, they're texting the gym phone, and then they're emailing. And so it's like, we need to get some systems in place and get you dialed in so that you can run a successful nutrition program and start building that program from start to finish.
We got to also connect with some people, some in the business space that we haven't got to connect to in the past. We got to connect to Eric Malzone. I'm going to go on his podcast. Stu Brower.
I love that guy. Listen, Stu Brower gets a bad rap, or maybe he doesn't, but you know, some people come across a little abrasive sometimes. And man, that guy's wicked smart. He's super successful and he's straight to the point kind of guy. I wrote down probably about 10 things that I could be doing a better job of because of Stu. And I know he's coming on your podcast. I'm a little nervous for you. Tell our pastor at church not to listen to that one because it might be a little raw. But
I told him, I was like, if you come on our podcast, you need to dial it back to like a 1 out of your 10. And he's like, Nicole, I can do it.
He's super bright guy.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that he talked about, and we'll have him actually come on, is organic marketing. He's really good at helping gym owners figure out a plan for guerrilla marketing. And that's what he talked about. And I thought a lot of those things, like, man, we maybe did a piece of it when we opened, but we have gotten so far away from some of the things that he was talking about. And I thought it was a really great reminder. And even, you know, when you go to these business meetings, sometimes it's just, hey, I need this reminder of things that I need to do to implement. I want to shift gears for just a second and talk about the live workshop. So we were just in Nashville, the best city to host an event, in my opinion. And
have bachelorette parties.
They have a lot of those too there. And we're going to be hosting that live event in September 16th and 17th. We have gathered some experts in the field in regards to coach development. We have Zach Forrest, level 4 Flow Master, CrossFit trainer. He's been on staff for 10 years, coming on talking about coach development. We grabbed someone from CrossFit Health. We have a mental health expert coming and talk. We have Dr. Danny Urcuyo. He is the SETI MD medical director, coming on talking about stress and sleep. Really, the goal of this whole event is to bring gym owners together who are passionate about building a holistic approach to servicing their clients to help them make health a way of life. And you know, I had the opportunity to go to CrossFit HQ before the pandemic many times to these DDC meetings where all these different doctors and different professionals would come in and talk about health and how the healthcare system's broken. And they never really put out the solution. And I thought, you know, when I was there, I'm like, one day we will create this event that is all solution oriented for exactly what gym owners need to do to build health and be the center of healthcare inside their community. And that's really what this whole 2 days is going to be about. And then we have partnered with Lasso, and we're going to do this half day thing on Sunday that is only 40 people, and they'll be able to talk about the marketing side, their story brand certified guides. We're going to be doing it at the Carriage House, which, if you know what the Carriage House is,
Donald Miller.
It's going to be really cool. Going to be really fun. But really talking about, hey, how do you capture, conveying, and really awesome success stories and be able to market your program as the solution to help people solve the problems that they're dealing with in regards to their health. And then, of course, Sherman's going to talk about sales because he is very good at sales and helping people. No, you have to understand that you need a solid foundation, a solid program. You need to fill the holes with whatever your program is. But once you have that, then you add marketing on top of it, and it's like a fire hose, you know, but you don't want to have all these holes in your program and not have the systems in place. Because if you start paid advertising, you're just going to be leaking out all those people, sign up for a 12-week program, and then they're done after those 12 weeks, which is not the ultimate goal. So, this event in September is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I think, if you're sitting here listening to this and you're a gym owner, you're a nutrition coach, you're in the industry, I don't know about you, but I love going and sitting and listening to people that are smarter than me and that are doing it better than me, that are 2 steps ahead of me. Those are the kind of people that I want to be around. And you and I have been to 24 of these things, 24 events in the last 5 years, probably maybe more. I don't know, but we've been to different mentors, different workshops. And I can remember on one hand, the best ones. And this one's going to be up there. And the reason I say that, it's not because you're my wife and because I know how you're going to have it dialed in. It's because of the lineup of speakers and like putting that all together and then being around smarter people than you. I'm not calling you dumb, but what I'm saying is you're going to get some nuggets and I'm really excited. I kind of wish I wasn't working and I could just sit there as a spectator and just fill my cup with all the knowledge bombs, but maybe you'll let me off for a little while.
You're going to be working. So I hope you guys join us in September. It's going to be so much fun. The biggest takeaway is wrapping up this podcast with trends. Number one, you should be diversifying revenue streams after you've dialed in your core service. We really need to be focusing on, the connection and community that you are building within your brand, within your business. And you need to market that message really well. And if you're just posting pictures of people with grueling faces and workouts and not actually talking about the transformations, that piece alone that we're going to be addressing on Friday and Sunday will be well worth the investment that you have. Story Brand Guide becoming one of those back in 2018 was probably one of the best business decisions I ever made because I understood, hey, this is a missing piece in what we're doing with our business. Like we have this amazing service. We want to help, this passion for people, but I'm not able to convey the message really well to be able to help people understand how we can help them. And until we did that, it was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Now let me teach it to our gym owners. But sometimes we get so far away from some of the fundamental pieces. We need to go back to that and really share the stories of the transformations that are happening inside our gym. So super excited about this event. We hope to see everyone there.
We're going to see a lot of people. We're going to see 200 people.
We will see 200.
We're capped out at 200. So I think we're halfway there and we got about 100 spots left. And I think over the next month, it's going to start filling up. I think with the lineup of all stars that are coming and the partners that you've partnered with, this is going to be something you don't want to miss.
Yeah. Super excited to see all of Push Press and the Push Press family. It's going to be really fun. They are hosting the welcome reception with us on Friday.
Yep.
Of course, there'll be live music and drinks and
live music in Nashville at our event.
Duh.
Okay.
All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this podcast. Jay, thanks for traveling with me to all of the events. It's been really fun.
Listen, someone's got to drive you around, Miss Daisy. Love you.
I really enjoyed this last conference that we went to with Tim Lyons. Him and Randy are going to be hosting another event next year in Scottsdale, Arizona. We will definitely be there. I told Randy after the event was over that I wanted to be speaking at the next one. It was so much fun to connect with our gym owners and some other gym owners in different spaces beyond just the CrossFit space. Well, if you would like to attend our Healthy Steps Nutrition Live Workshop, we'd love to have you there. I want to leave you with this one piece of information, this one nugget. A lot of the people talked about building cultures, sharing compelling stories. And I would really challenge you to look at your culture in your gym. Does your culture prioritize nutrition? Are your staff members talking about nutrition during classes? One of the things I got to do is drop into one of the CrossFit gyms that run our nutrition program in Nashville, Whole Strength Fitness, CrossFit and nutrition. And one of the things that they do, I think is a really great idea, is they have a cool down at the end of their class. And during that cool down, they bring up different things, different topics related to mindset, health, and nutrition. When I was there, Ryan, the owner, was actually coaching the class, and he said, all right, trivia question, free fit aid for the person that gets this right. What is protein made out of, and why do you need it? And people were chiming in with different answers, but it was a really great conversation starter. People were able to start that conversation about nutrition and why it's important. And you know that people need to hear things 7 to 10 times before taking action. Are you intentionally starting the conversation about nutrition in your classes? If not, that is one actionable step that you can do to build the culture talking about nutrition and build engagement with your existing members. I'm so excited about next week's podcast guest. We have Stefan Roche. He is part of the senior content development team for CrossFit. He coached CrossFit for a long time. He is on seminar staff, was on seminar staff. He also helped write the CrossFit nutrition course. We talk all about coach development and the nutrition coaching course and just adding nutrition into your gym. So make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Grow Your Nutrition Business, and tune in next week to listen to my conversation with Stefan Roche.